Welcome back to Murder and Mystery with Mal, where we explore the Philippines' most unforgettable true crime stories. Today we're diving into two chilling cases separated by decades, yet forever linked by the same media coin phrase, the Chop Chop Lady. These aren't just tales of crime. They're stories about investigation, media, and the lasting impact on society. Let's start with Lucila Lalu. It was May 1967 in Manila. Lucila Lalu, a young entrepreneur, ran both a restaurant and a beauty salon. Independent and ambitious, she was admired by friends and colleagues. Then suddenly she disappeared. Panic set in. Days later, parts of her body were discovered in separate locations across the city. The press quickly branded her the country's first Chop Chop Lady. The investigation quickly focused on men close to her. A waiter from her restaurant, Añano de Vera, her common-law husband, and a policeman, a printing executive connected to her, and Jose Luis Santiano, a dental student who initially confessed. Police examined the evidence meticulously. Santiano's confession provided some leads, but he later retracted it, claiming coercion. Other leads were inconclusive. Fingerprints, witness statements, and connections were investigated, but nothing led to a conviction. Lucila's murder went unsolved. Her case became a national mystery, shaping media and coverage and public perception of crime. More than 50 years later, it remains one of the Philippines' most haunting cold cases. Now let's talk about Elsa Castillo. Fast forward to 1993, Elsa Santos Castillo, a respected assistant manager, lived a professional life admired by many. Privately, she was involved with Stephen Mark Weisenhunt, an American executive. On a fateful day in September, Elsa was killed in Weisenhunt's condominium. He attempted to conceal the crime, transporting her remains far from the city. Investigators traced the evidence back to him. Forensic analysis, witness testimony, and items collected from his condo linked him directly to the crime. The investigation was meticulous, examining the timeline, the scene, and even phone records to reconstruct what happened. The case drew national attention. The trial lasted years with lawyers, witnesses, and experts presenting evidence in painstaking detail. In 2001, Weisenhunt was convicted of murder and sentenced to reclusión perpetua, the Philippine equivalent of life imprisonment. Nearly 2 decades later, in 2012, he was released early for good conduct, and in 2013, he was deported to the United States. The case sparked debate. Was justice truly served? And how should society balance punishment with rehabilitation? Elsa's story was retold in newspapers, television, and 2 films, cementing her tragic legacy in Philippine cultural memory. Together, these 2 cases illustrate more than crime. They show the intersection of evidence, investigation, and media impact. Lucila's case highlights how unresolved crimes leave lasting questions. Even with confessions and leads, the evidence wasn't enough to bring closure. Elsa's case demonstrates how thorough investigations, forensic evidence, and witness testimony can lead to conviction, but societal questions about justice can persist even after sentencing. The label Chop Chop Lady might sound sensational, but these stories remind us that behind every headline is a human life, a family, and a web of facts, evidence, and decisions that shape outcomes. That's it for today's episode of Murder and Mystery with Mal. From Lucila Lalu in 1967 to Elsa Castillo in 1993, the Chop Chop Lady cases offer a glimpse into crime, investigation, and culture in the Philippines. They remind us that justice can be complex. Closure is not always guaranteed, and history often leaves echoes that last generations. If you found today's episode compelling, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Next time, we'll dive into another story that shaped how the Philippines sees crime, justice, and society. But until then, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, behind every case is a story worth remembering. Thanks, guys.